Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be taking a look at the new Moogle Treasure Trove event that came out on October 15th and will be running until patch 7.1. This is going to be the Moogle Treasure Trove Hunt for Goetia. Now, this is going to be accessed through the Mogpendium, just like the recent two Moogle Treasure Trove events. Easiest way to access it is go to Duty, go to Collection, and then you have your Mogpendium here. You can drag this to your bar like I have here, and by clicking it, you can see all the different things that you can run for the irregular tomestones of Goetia. Now, for this event, there is going to be Ultimog challenges that you can only complete this one time during the entire event. So you want to make sure that you're doing this because it gives you the largest reward of tomestones. Then there will be mini Mog challenges and weekly challenges. Both of these can be completed once a week. For the mini Mog challenges, you just need to complete one of the two separate things that are offered to you. And then for the weekly challenge, you'll just need to run the one dungeon or whatever the weekly activity is. And then you have your standard objectives, and these can be run as many times as you would like, and they will give you a reward depending on what you are running, and every single time that you complete it, you'll receive this reward. Now, as far as rewards go, there is quite a few very nice rewards this time. Going over just a couple of them here. Several of the rewards are unique to this event, so you cannot get the donut earring anywhere else except for this event right now. Same thing with the Great Serpent of Ringa. This is the only way to get this is during this event. Both of these are purely for glamour aesthetic pieces. There's no stats on them or anything like that, so they're not going to boost your character item level, but if you want either of these just for the look on your character, then you can get those. And then the only way to get the MGP Platinum cards is during these events. Now, that is, every Moogle Treasure Trove event will offer these Platinum cards, but if you're looking for MGP, this is by far the easiest and quickest way to get MGP. It's insane how much you can get by just spamming these Platinum cards. But other than that, there's a couple items that are quite hard to get currently unless you have friends that run older content or you're in a free company that will run older content with you. But the Innocent Guiber Trumpet and the Alte Rote Prism are both from Extreme and Savage versions. So the Innocent Guiber Trumpet comes from the Crown of the Immaculate Extreme, which is hard to complete without having a dedicated group to do so. And then the Alte Ruit's Prism is from the Deltascape version 4.0 Savage. This one's not as hard, but still being a higher level Savage dungeon can be quite hard to do. So those are very good ones to focus on getting during this event, so you don't have to do those the harder way. And we'll go over a couple that are a bit time consuming to get normally, or they're expensive to get. So just kind of working our way down the list here, we have the Hades Barding. This is crafted and requires a material from the Hades Extreme. So this can be hard to get unless you can find a group to run it reliably. And even then, it's not a 100% drop rate, and you'll have to be splitting it amongst different party members who will all be rolling on it. So it can be hard to get that one material to then craft it. Now, you can just purchase this on the market board if you want to do that, but then that adds into the expensive part of these items. So it's probably easier just to get it from this event if you can, if you want it. The modern aesthetic here comes from the Bojin Southern Front. It is a trade-in for the different coins. Now, Bojin Southern Front itself is not too difficult, but it is very time consuming, and trying to get a high enough rank and then getting enough coins to be able to turn it in is a very, very time consuming venture. So it is much easier to just get it here. The twice stricken orchestrion roll comes from Inverse Fulmination. Now, it is quite easy to run the Edenverse over and over again and get it that way, but if you do that, you'll most likely be rolling against most of the people in your group when you do so, so it's easier to just get it here. The Ballroom Etiquette Dark Entreaty. This one also comes from Bojin Southern Front. It's a trade-in for the Bojin clusters, and you have to have a high enough rank that you are able to trade it in. So again, this is a very time-consuming venture, but it's easier just to get it from this event. The Ballroom Etiquette Idle Gossip comes from the Eureka Pyros lockboxes. Again, Eureka is another thing that is a very heavy time sink, and Eureka Pyros is not the most difficult one to reach. It's about halfway through your journey through Eureka. So I again would say it's easier just to get this from here. The casual attire coffers come from the Firmament. You'll be looking at the Kupo of Fortune. Is the only other way to receive this, and a lot of people like the casual attire, so it sells very, very well. You can sell it as an entire coffer, or you can open it up and sell the individual pieces. But this is a very good one if you want to get, if you're just trying to make gil. Along with the Ballroom Etiquettes, they all are sellable on the market board. Same with the Hades Barding, the Modern Aesthetic, the Orchestrion Roll, like all of those are sellable on the market board. And since they're a bit harder to get, they do have a very good price. The Towels tabletop item, while this is going to be a niche one that certain people will want for their housing, the only other way to get this is by doing PvP, and I know that PvP is either a hit or miss with a lot of different people, so if you're not into PvP, the only other way you'll get it is by doing this event. The Drake Horn and the Laurel Gubu Horn, both these come from A Realm Reborn Beast Tribe reputations. Now, I would recommend to level those up eventually, but again, this is a very long time sink endeavor. It takes multiple weeks to be able to do the daily quest to get enough reputation to actually purchase these. So while it's not a difficult thing and it can be done very easily, if you want it a lot quicker, you can just purchase it through this event. The Lunar Camoi and the Aphonius Camoi, those are going to come from Minstrel's Ballad, Tsukuyomi's Pain, the extreme version of Tsukuyomi essentially, and then the Hell's Cure Extreme. So these can be completed with 2 people. I've done it and already farmed up these Camois by myself. So it's not a terribly difficult thing to do. It just takes learning the fight, knowing it, and figuring out how to do it. With a smaller group of 4 to 5 people, these are completed very, very easily. So these are debatable on if it's easier to actually run the content and get, or just purchase them here. For all of the other housing items here, these are level 80 plus crafts. So if you have the crafter to make them, you can very easily do that. Purchasing the supplies does cost around 20,000 gil each for getting all the supplies for these different crafts. So it's not terribly hard to get again, but if you want an easier way of doing it, most likely you can just devote an hour to running content and getting the tomestones and getting each of these items. The wind-up Amoja is also going to be coming from one of the Realm Reborn Beast Tribes, the same one that's going to reward you the Drake Horn. So if you're leveling up the Beast Tribes, you can actually get a 2-for-1 here and save yourself 45 of the tomestones. Now, all of these Shisui gear, now it does look good and you can purchase it from here. I would recommend just running the Shisui of the Violet Tides dungeon and just get as much of this gear as you want. You can literally farm it solo if you have a higher level character and get all of this gear very, very easily. So I would not waste your tomestones getting any of this. Same with the maps. All of these maps are for lower level content. So we have 70, 80, and 90 level maps here. Some of these maps do have decent rewards, but I don't think that the rewards from them, since they require a group to be able to complete, are worth trading the tomestones when you could get other things that you're guaranteed getting rewards from, whereas maps, you never know what you're going to get. Any of the riding maps are much easier to get from running the hunts and completing them that way, getting the different hunt rewards to grab the maps. Don't need to waste your tomestones getting those. The Bandersnatch card and the Crawler card, these are also a lot easier to get by just going to the individual people that give you these cards for beating them in triple triad matches and getting them that way. You can spend 5-10 minutes just playing that one person and pretty much guarantee yourself the reward. You don't need to waste the tomestones getting those. Now for the Tsukuyomi, the Hades, and the 2P cards, these come from a little bit harder content, and the rewards are party-wide. Even if the card drops, you're not guaranteed to get it. So I would say honestly easier to get here than trying to complete the other content. The Tsukuyomi card is going to come from the Castrum Fluminous and the Tsukuyomi's Pain dungeon. So that's the normal version and the extreme. The Hades card will come from the Dying Gasp, along with the Minstrel's Ballad Hades Eulogy. So again, the normal and extreme version for Hades. And then the 2P card comes from Puppet's Bunker. The Wind Up Numu is going to be tradable from Sack of Nuts. It takes 800 Sack of Nuts, I believe. That's actually quite a investment, running every single week, doing the hunts, trying to get enough Sack of Nuts to purchase this. So it's much easier to get it just purchasing it here. The Armadillo Bowler is going to come from Malachi as well. So this is another lower level dungeon. You can run it solo over and over again, try just to get this. You can purchase it on the market board, or you can spend a couple tomestones here and get it. It's very cheap. 777 Whiskers Orchestrion Roll is going to come from the Namazu Beast Tribe reputations. So again, you should be leveling your Beast Tribe reputations, hopefully. If you are, you'll already be able to purchase this with Gil, but that will be a time sink to be able to get it. So if you would like to get it much quicker, you can purchase it here. The coral roots here can be used to increase experience earned by your Chocobo companion. So this would just be for leveling them up. And then I would never recommend purchasing the magic prisms. But that's going to cover all of the rewards. As far as content to run, we're going to be looking at the Mogpendium here. So again, the Ultimog challenge, you'll only be able to complete this once. The Mini Mog, you'll be able to complete once a week. The weekly objective, you'll be able to complete once a week also. And then for standard objectives that you'll be able to run over and over again to get these as fast as possible, the Amnapor Keep Hard is going to reward you 4 per run, and it takes about 11 minutes per run, so that's a pretty good one. The Alexander Fist of the Father and Alexander Burden of the Father, both are going to reward you only 2 per run, but they are generally sub 5-minute runs, so you can actually complete 2 of these in about 10 minutes. Which will be the same amount as the Amdapor Keep. And then you have the Kugane Ohashi. This is going to again give you 2 per run at about a 6-minute run. So you can queue for all 3 of these or all 4 of these at the same time, and then possibly get the same amount of rewards per time frame. And then the other thing that is worth doing is the gates. Now, gates are going to be in the Gold Saucer. It is the Fate version for the Gold Saucer. You get 1 to 10, as you can see here, depending on which gate is currently up and how you complete it. So you'll be offered a different reward depending if you get bronze, silver, or gold during that gate. And then the only thing with these is that you're only able to complete one per 20 minutes, as that's the spawn rate of them. So you can kind of do these in between waiting for your dungeons to spawn. And that is going to cover pretty much everything you need to know for the Moogle Treasure Trove, the hunt for Goetia. I hope this helped everyone out. If it did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you on the next one.